Hello, this is William Beckett, and I'm in love with rockforevermagazine.com.
Hey guys, it's Tori from Rock Forever Magazine, and today I'm hanging out with William Beckett. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Very good, very good. Hanging out in Florida. You're on tour right now.
Indeed. It's
How's
a
it going?
warm one in Orlando today.
Yeah. Everyone always says that. I'm like, welcome to the Sunshine State, right? So
We were in South Carolina last night, which is not nearly as, humid as
yeah.
well. But I'm excited to be in Florida again.
Absolutely.
It's been a minute, so.
And since you're on tour, do you get to check out any cool sites while you're in any of the cities or anything cool like that?
I try to more so now. I think that for years I just kind of stayed on the bus and took it for granted a little bit.
At least
but
you stayed in the air conditioning.
yeah, but it's overrated. It's like I like to experience the city that I'm in and take in the culture, even if it's just finding like a local restaurant in the afternoon, and that's not a chain, that actually belongs to the city. It's a part of the city, and just soak it in when I have some time.
Yeah, gotta soak in the culture here. We got Harry Potter World.
I heard, and I'm really bummed because we don't have a day off tomorrow, because I would have loved to just spend all day at Harry Potter World.
Guess you're just gonna have to come back, right?
There you go. You got me.
Yeah,
Hooked.
exactly. Well, we're going to start off some finish the sentence for you. So, I think this is simple. You just finish the sentence. So, my secret talent is...
I'm pretty good at baseball. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm quite a good baseball player.
Aha, that's a good one. And so, if I could collaborate with anyone, it would be...
Brandon Flowers from The Killers.
Nice. Now, before I go on stage, I always...
I always warm up, and that's kind of boring.
Yeah, that's important, though. So.
I always warm up.
Sweet. Now, favorite place to visit on tour is... Better say Orlando.
Harry Potter World, of course.
Obviously.
I haven't been there, but I know it's wonderful.
It's tough because every city's just different.
Every city's different. So it's like whenever someone asks me what my favorite show or my favorite venue or my favorite city to play in, it's always, I know it sounds like a cliche answer, but honestly, every city has its own pulse to it, its own rhythm to it, and its own thing that is appealing to me in one way or another.
And see, that's smart though, because now if you did say one city, you're going to upset everybody else that you didn't say their city. So It's good for you that was a good answer.
Diplomatic.
Yes. And now we got one more for you. 3 words to describe my music are...
bold, fun, and honest.
Ooh, I like it. Sounds like good music. And so you are on tour right now, and the fans can get a little wild sometimes. So have you had any crazy fan experiences?
Yeah. I mean, generally, or on this tour alone.
Okay, on this tour.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
On this tour, there's been a few instances of just kind of overstepping the line a little bit.
No
and
personal bubble.
A little bit, like a little bit. And I'm not an awkward person. I can pretty much turn any weird situation into one that's all right for everyone. But it's usually when too many adult beverages have been consumed that people tend to lose that self-edit. And I just I do my best with it, but I'm just you're gonna have to back off.
Sounds pretty interesting. Definitely some good fan experiences. And you still got a while to go on the tour, and I know you're heading to Japan and stuff like that afterwards, so more experiences to come, right?
Indeed.
Before all the solo music, you were in a band called The Academy Is, of course. Everyone better have heard of that band. But what do you think was the toughest part of transitioning from being in a band to being a solo artist?
I think the toughest thing was having the conversation to begin with, because I think mentally I prepared myself for doing this. I've kind of had it in the back of my mind for a while now. But I think loyalty and other things went into trying to keep it together. But it came a point where I just had to do what was right for the music and for my own creativity and outlet. So having the conversation was really hard after having been a band for 8 years and being through all that we've been through. So the conversation was the hardest part. But as far as like my mental and physical transition, it was very natural because it was just liberating to be in control of the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's all you. And so for anyone who has listened to the Academias but maybe hasn't heard any of your solo music yet, what do you think is the biggest surprise the first time they listen to the EP?
I think that people sort of expect like an acoustic solo singer-songwriter thing, and it's totally not that.
Absolutely.
It's very energetic and exciting, production, and it just really it mirrors what my instincts are and what my tastes are in music that I like as well. So, I mean, if I can't make music that turns me on, then I'm not making music.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, it's part of the reason why I had to do what I did. So.
And it's good that you enjoy your music, considering you have to play it every night. So that's good.
That's a big part of it.
Absolutely. And so your Walk the Talk EP is out right now. So what inspired the EP title?
Walk the Talk basically to me means, standing up for who you are and not being afraid to embrace the individual inside of all of us. And for me, it came, part of it had to do with the situation that I was in for so long, where people were questioning, what the direction of the band was going to be, this and that, and there's like a bunch of cooks in the kitchen. But then once we started feeling really good about a vision on my own, I just wanted to commit to it and really follow my instincts on it and not apologize for it.
Do you have a favorite song from the EP? I know it's kind of hard because you work so hard on an album, but is there a favorite?
A song called Oh Love. I'm having a lot of fun playing live, but they're all fun to play, like you said, but Oh Love's probably my favorite.
I think that might be my favorite too.
Aww.
So now we have some fan questions here. We received a ton, so we're going to answer a few now. So we got Amine from Denmark. She wants to know, which bands were you listening to while working on the EP?
I was listening to a lot of The Killers' new record. I was listening to a lot of Bowie. I think Bowie was my biggest inspiration, just purely from song to song, from album to album. He's transcended a lot of boundaries, and he, on the same record would have two starkly contrasting songs, but thematically it all works together.
Absolutely.
With the lyric, and that's really interesting and exciting to me. And there are plenty of bands that I love who make records that are essentially just the one sound the whole way through, and then that's cool, and there's something cool to be said about that. But personally, I've always gravitated more towards higher dynamic and absorbing the whole spectrum, as opposed to just like this is it's like one note or like one color.
Yep.
I prefer to use the whole palette, if that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
And I know when I was first listening to the EP the first time through, I listened to the first song and thinking, okay, this is what the rest of the album is going to sound like, and I get to the next song and it was something completely different. So I really appreciated that. And so we have another fan question here from Brenna, and I guess you kind of answered this one already, but musical inspirations. For your musical inspirations?
I mean, I guess from really early on in my life, my mom was really into 80s and new wave music. So she'd be listening to Duran Duran and, Thompson Twins and the Outfield and stuff like that. And then, and Tears for Fears. And my dad was really into, like, the 90s grunge stuff. So he was really into Pearl Jam and STP and some of the Nirvana stuff. So early on, I think that just almost subliminally those influences were just around me and like soaked in, which totally makes sense now looking back. But then I was also really inspired by like more modern music. Probably like around Y2K, like 2002, when like Creed and a lot of those bands were on the radio, I was really not interested in the radio anymore because of that. So like I wasn't a fan of, you know, Kid Rock and all that stuff at all, but it was so huge on the radio.
Yeah. Can't escape it.
It's like those same, like the same radio station that I would go to listen to my favorite bands are now playing these, like, you know, grunge, rehash pop, you know, burger rock music that I wasn't really interested in. So then I really got into indie music and underground music, and you know, that's sort of what started the band.
Yeah, it's definitely great they were surrounded by so many different kinds of music. Last fan question here from Melissa. She says, do you have any plans for more albums or more tours in the future?
Yeah, I'm actually releasing an EP every 3 months for the rest of the year. So Walk the Talk is the first one. In July, a second EP is coming out that's going to basically pick up where the story left off. Thank you. Thanks. That was nice of you. Thanks. She walked in and she realized we were doing an interview, so she like slowly stopped the door. Yes. I think it's great.
Slow motion. I appreciate that.
See,
too.
we're breaking down boundaries here. You know, this isn't a closed studio interview that we're doing here. This is like real life. This is real life.
Absolutely is. No fancy backdrop here. We just got natural.
Lovely. I think it's great. Look at this. Oh.
Yeah. Do you know how many people we're promoting right now with this in the background? It's great.
You can just like haze it out, right? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll
but
see.
Anyway, I'm doing every 3 months. There's a new EP. This is where I was at, right? I was like getting my train of thought back. So the second EP picks up where the first EP leaves off as far as the story of things, and then it's a little bit darker as well because it's kind of getting deeper into that relationship where, you know, in Drummer, if you're familiar with the release, the second song after the first, which is very much like empowered person, like no one can mess with me, no one's going to compromise my vision and all that, and like who I am. And then Drummer comes along and it's like, oh, you meet someone that totally turns what you thought and all the control you thought you had in your life upside down, and just like in the best way. You're just like, wow, you're so really taken aback by someone and taken by surprise. And then, you know, Oh Love is sort of the pining and like the chase, a bit of that, of like what you would do to be with this person. And then so the next EP, it's like the honeymoon's kind of fizzle, you know, it's like kind of over. You're getting more used to this person, and just like for a relationship to sustain, it takes a lot of work, and particularly an adult relationship when you're trying to juggle what life throws you and you know, trying to hit curveballs that life throws you, and just how to get through that struggle. And then the third EP, I'll leave for people to see how it all ends then.
Leaving some surprises here, but it's great. I'm excited to hear this next EP. It's going to be great. And so for anyone who hasn't heard your music yet, where can they check it all out?
Well, you can check pretty much all avenues of what I'm doing is on my Facebook page. So like William Beckett, you like that, and then you'll get all the information. I'm constantly on Facebook and on my blog and on Tumblr and Instagram. And everywhere. I'm all over the place. And my Twitter's Bill Beckett. But Walk the Talk is currently available on iTunes as a download there. But if you like the physical copy, you know, if you really like the CD, you can either get it on tour, at a show, or you can go to my merch store, which is williambeckett.merchnow.com.
Place to be. So many social networking sites. It's so great. Do you have a favorite anywhere?
Follow me on Twitter. It's Bill Beckett. My Instagram's Bill Beckett. I'm really into Instagram lately, but Tumblr's my favorite, I think. Yes. And my Tumblr's thewilliambeckettblog.com.
Yes, I'm definitely into Tumblr too. So yeah, go follow him there. And thank you so much for hanging out.
Thanks.
It's great. And to everyone watching, make sure you check out William Beckett and his new EP, Walk the Talk. See you next time.